Well, good Thursday morning, South Central. Heavy wet snow has been falling through the overnight hours into this morning. We didn't really see much in the way of a transition take place through the night for many locations across the region. We'll get to that here in a minute, but giving you a live look at what we're seeing outside. This is from Eagle River, overlooking Eagle River Valley out towards, looking towards Anchorage. You can see just how much snow has fallen. Now we are beginning to see a mix of some sleet and rain beginning to make its way across parts of South Central. But of course, the main precip type continues to be some heavy snow with areas out towards Prince William Sound holding on to that better potential for some of that heavier rain. So why did we not end up with that transition? Even though that hasn't been the case, travel conditions across South Central continue to remain very difficult across the region. So you want to give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. If you have to get outdoors, give yourself plenty of space between the plows as they work to clear those roads. Of course, let us know in the comments just how much snow that you have seen. That certainly helps us when it comes to coverage with this event. And of course, you can go to our website at alaskasnewssource.com and click right there at the top on the blue bar where it says submit photos and videos. And we can always use some of those photos to show just exactly what kind of impacts we've seen across the region. But this is that satellite and radar that we've got across looking at South Central. We've got Heather Roney, who is saying that over a foot of snow in the Butte, and yes, snowing again. That is what we're seeing across South Central. Notice that swirl moving into Prince William Sound. That is that area of low pressure. Now, it took more of a northerly track through the night, and as a result of that, that left us in the cold sector of this storm, meaning we saw entirely snow through the night. Now, there were some areas of the valley that managed to see more in the way of some light rain and some freezing rain through the overnight hours. But as we've already seen, some of that snow beginning to fall once again through the valley. We've got Linda saying 12 to 18 inches in Independence Park. Now, we've officially seen 20.5 inches of snowfall so far with when it comes to the amount of snow that we've seen just this month. Of course, just within the past 2 days, we've seen over a foot of snowfall. 9 inches fell yesterday, which was a brand new record, breaking the previous record of 7.3 set back in 1982. So we're going to continue to hold on to this snow through the day. There is that possibility that we could see a changeover to some rain. It's going to be brief at times, but it will continue to exacerbate some of those difficult driving conditions. We've got snowing good in Wasilla, as Daniel says. Heather says that she moved here in December from Western New York, and she says that that New York takes way better care of the roads than they here. Now, we are going to continue to work on those roads. Plows working out on those streets will take several hours for them to get this plow out done as we are continuing to hold on to some of this heavier snowfall. But you can see those winter storm warning continues for the Anchorage Bowl, where we've seen up to a foot plus of snowfall. Lighter amounts have occurred elsewhere across the Kenai, across western parts of the Kenai. We have seen up to 2 inches of snowfall through extreme southern parts. Now out towards Kenai, Soldotna, we've seen up to a foot of snowfall. So this hard-hitting storm that is impacting much of South Central, some of those higher snowfall totals, of course, will be out towards Thompson Pass, Sheep Mountain, the Chugach, as well as the Kenai Mountains. And we're certainly going to be talking about some early season avalanches as we continue to watch this heavy wet snow that is going to lead to that snow loading. That's also caused thousands of power outages across South Central. Earlier this morning, we had numerous. Here, let me go ahead and pull up and see what if we have any power outages for Chugach Electric, as well as for areas of Homer, the Kenai, as well as Matanuska Electric. So let me pull this up for you here. We'll go ahead and give you that. You'll need to pull out that snow blower through the day, as we've got up to a foot of snowfall that has occurred, and more is heading our way across South Central. Of course, it will begin to lighten up across the region as we welcome in the remainder of today on into Friday. Current outage for Chugach, we've got over 5,000 people without power. Of course, most of that being Girdwood, where we've got over 1,300 without power right now. This snow, heavy wet snow, is loading up on those power lines and those trees. That's leading to those power outages. Also seeing out towards Boniface, we've got over 1,100 without power this morning as well. So that's likely going to continue to be a concern through the remainder of the day as this snow continues to fall across South Central. It'll lighten up here and there across the region. We'll see that transition to some rain occurring, and again, that's just going to cause continue to cause some issues issues on those roadways. So just take it easy on the roads if you have to get outside. If you don't, today is one of those days where you probably just want to stay home because it's dangerous outside on many of those roads. We've got impassable conditions along the Seward Highway out towards Moose Pass, where we've seen several inches of some snowfall, and we're going to continue to monitor that situation through the remainder of the day. But you can see that snow staying with us. As that low moves inland, we could see a transition over to some rain later today. Even if that doesn't occur, we're going to continue to add on to the snowfall accumulation across South Central. Looking at power outages for Matanuska Electric, we currently have 284 without power, with most of those being in the Fairview Loop. And then out towards Homer, the Homer Electric, we've got roughly, let's see if we can pull this up, roughly looks like we've got 7,000, over 7,000 that are without power right now, with most of those being in California, Coho, and Sterling, as well as Ridgeway, seeing some of those power outages. And that, again, is likely going to continue for the remainder of the day. Daniel says power up here at Bear Valley has been out since last night at 9 p.m. So, yeah, we've had power outages for several hours. That's also affecting TV signals when it comes to getting some of that signal. In fact, we have the actual Channel 2 and Channel 5 down on some locations, and that's due to our transmitter, which is currently operating on backup generator power because of those power outages. And because of that lower power quality, we do have some of that service outages on the TVs. But we are going to expect to hold on to more snowfall through the day. It does lighten up into the evening, so we are going to catch a break, but we're watching another area of low pressure that is going to move into the Gulf of Alaska as we welcome in our Friday, and that's going to bring some additional snowfall totals across the region. Once again, expecting some rain out towards Prince William Sound. We could see some breezy, if not windy conditions, and then out towards southeast, which is where we're going to see most of the impacts from this next area of low pressure. We're talking about some gusty winds as well as 1 to 2 inches of rainfall looking likely. Cordova still seeing the potential for some high winds as well, where we've seen winds upwards of about 70 to 75 miles per hour around the Cordova region. That does not mean that Cordova proper has seen some of those winds gusting that high, but within that vicinity, we have seen some hurricane force winds with this storm system. And as that low continues to move inland through the day, those winds will die down, and that snow will as well. So we're going to continue to hold on to that potential for snow into Friday and Saturday with an additional, thinking more about 4 to 6 inches of snowfall. But with systems like this, they tend to overperform, so don't be surprised if we see some locations with an additional 6+ inches. But a safe bet is roughly about 4 to 6 inches across South Central here over the next 24 to 36 hours. And again, the highest snowfall totals will occur through the Chugach and Kenai Mountains. You can see along the Parks Highway out towards western parts of the Susitna Valley. We're talking about some of that heavier snowfall. And then down towards western parts of the Kenai, not expecting much snowfall once it tapers off today. Now, there will be a band of snow moving through Friday night into Saturday. That'll bring a quick few inches of snowfall. Outside of that, not expecting anything significant across the region. But you can see through Saturday morning, there it is, heaviest snowfall over the Chugach, Kenai Mountains. Whittier could see some of that heavier snowfall as well out towards Portage Valley. Anchorage, I'm thinking again more about 4 to 6 inches of snowfall, but don't be surprised if we see more than that as we welcome in your Friday as well. The system that we're going to see tomorrow is going to be more in the way of that light, fluffy snow, as we are going to see temperatures drop back below freezing as we close the door on this week and welcome in the weekend. So your road conditions, this is the Glen Highway out towards the way station. You can see just how snow covered those roads are. Slowed down. We've even got reports that there was a glaze of ice in the valley through the overnight hours. So holding the road conditions, the travel on it in the red light category through the afternoon hours. Should see some improvement as road crews get out and work on many of those main arteries. When it comes to getting out on the roads, we should see some improvement here over the next several days. But as we know with any big event, that plow out takes some time. That first plow out can really eat into the amount of time it takes to clear those roads. So what we're talking about in terms of those winter driving tips, things that we tend to just forget about sometimes. You want to heed those flashing lights. Pay attention to your instrument panel. It certainly can help you when it comes to skidding, your traction control. You want to make sure that you pay attention to that. And anytime that you do come across slick spots where you're talking about skidding, that front wheel skid, you want to ease off the gas. You do not want to press on that brake. Ease off the gas and let your vehicle correct itself. If you have that rear wheel skid, you want to turn into the skid. And don't be afraid of those anti-lock brakes. When you hit the brakes and they begin to vibrate very violently, that means that they're doing their job. So push the brake pedal down hard and don't let up. The computer will control each individual tire themselves and how much pressure it takes for them to stop, or how much it takes for it to stop when it comes to those slick road conditions. So just be cautious through the remainder of today as those road conditions will continue to be difficult to navigate at times. In addition to what we're seeing here in South Central, we've got a variety of other things going on across the state. That high wind warning out towards southeast, that's been allowed to expire. We've seen winds, though, gusting anywhere from 45 to 70 miles per hour. Even seeing winds along the slope gusting 35 to 70 miles per hour. And those winds are bringing winter storm warning effects to parts of the slope where we're going to see blowing snow, visibility greatly reduced at times. In addition to that, additional snow accumulation of about 1 to 3 inches can be expected. So we're seeing storms impacting much of South Central, and you can see that flow around that low coming in out of the northwest, or northeast, I should say, from the slope and then down through the bearing. That's going to tap into some colder air, and that certainly is what has been keeping us on the colder side here in South Central with that snow that has been primarily falling through the night. So 38 degrees is where we should make it in Anchorage today. That's more so going to be as that area of low pressure moves inland. We're going to see our winds shift around out of the south, and that's going to bring a push of warmer air. As that occurs, that's where we're going to see that better shot for that transition to some rain. Again, some locations already seeing that this morning, and it's going to be very hit or miss where we're going to see that transition take place, but a better opportunity out over the open waters of Cook Inlet through parts of the valley where we're going to see some of those warmer temperatures have that better opportunity. Out towards southeast, rain showers continue. We're talking about 1 to 2 inches of rain looks likely here over the next few days, and then we've got those temperatures along the slope sitting in the 20s. So we still got this 1-2 punch with this system. This is day number 2 with snow across South Central. We're going to see that third low, I should say, tertiary low arriving as we welcome in our Friday, and that's going to move into the eastern Gulf of Alaska. That's going to bring, again, roughly about 4 to 6 inches total on top of what we've seen today. And then as we welcome in the weekend, we've got some sunshine returning to South Central for your Veterans Day. There is a slight possibility we could continue to hold on to some of that snow Saturday morning, but we do let up a lot of that activity this weekend before we watch another round of some snow as we welcome in next week. You can see temperatures drop as well, mid to upper 20s, overnight lows in the teens. So really beginning to get into this winter pattern, and certainly something we're going to continue to watch with this El Nino that we do have as well. But stay careful on those roads. Do not get out if you don't have to. Again, this is a live look. Let me see if we can change this and give you a better view of what we have going on across South Central. Again, this is overlooking Eagle River Valley with Anchorage in the background. I do believe our other camera that we have is this is out towards Ketchikan. Does it look like we have another one that we can show you for South Central? But yeah, there's Ketchikan, where we've seen some of that widespread rain with winds gusting up to 68 miles per hour. But here's the big story continues to be that widespread snow across South Central. We'll have more on this coming up at noon. Again, you can send us some photos. Go to our website, alaskasnewssource.com. You can click on the submit photos and videos right there on our homepage. And again, let us know how much snow you've seen. This has greatly hit everyone differently. We've seen some locations that have only recorded just a few inches of snowfall to the Anchorage hillside that have seen up to 2 feet of snowfall. So greatly a great departure in the amount of snow we've seen across South Central, which is typical with snowfall events. You're not going to see pretty uniform snow accumulation like you will see with rain, due in large part to the way that snow falls, the amount of snow within a certain area. So just a little facts on that. But again, that snow expected to lighten up through the day with a transition to some rain looking possible. As we welcome in the afternoon hours, we'll really begin to see some of that drier time into the evening. And again, we'll have more on this coming up at noon, as well as in the evening shows. For now, stay safe and have a good snowy Thursday.